This is Wobbly Wallaby, and I'm going to show you how my new free-to-play saint in Ragnarok Mobile 2.0 can earn more than 1.2 million Zeni a day. In my previous guide, I went over how I used Judex and Monster Lab to farm for Zeni initially. This new build is much better because you can use a full support priest PvE build and rely on a 4th job skill for doing AoE damage. That means you can save these points you had previously used on Judex and invest in something else. Also, the strategy does not involve using Shadow Wave, so you don't have to rely on getting that advanced ruin. First, before I begin, I'll show you my adventure handbook again. I made this on my free-to-play account so I could play around with different equipments and strategies. The adventure handbook is so bad that it won't affect the strategy for other people. In fact, I purposely didn't use the Ace of Ruins to offset my bonuses. Let's look at attributes. What was different from last time is now I invest 30 points into Dex. These 30 points of Dex will reduce the cast time by 1, which will come in handy when farming and from using skills in general. Next, max out int. I purposely left out points here because my adventure handbook gives me 7 additional int. The rest goes into vitality for survivability. Let's look at skills. This build is what a full support priest for PvE would use. The only difference is we're investing in the 4th job skill for farming. You can always make more time quicksand, so you'll eventually get the 4th job skills required for a full support priest. For Acolyte, max heal, Kyrie Ellison, blessing, increase agility, root watch, and light shield. For priest, put only 3 points into resurrection for optimal revive time. Then max Aspiro, increase spiritual recovery, clearance, magnificent, gloria, and impostu magnus. For high priest, max meditatio, 3 points into lex divina, max lex aeterna, angelus, assumpto, 3 points into suffragum for optimal duration, 5 points into magic prayer, and max safety wall. For archbishop, max oratio, song, 3 points into sacrament, max epiclesis, sun's radiance, comprehend, colloquial heal, and slow poison. As you get additional job levels, put it into force focus. For saint skills, invest in dark shadow slaughter. Keep getting time quicksand and you'll be able to get this over time. Be sure to do your wasteland dailies. I'll be sure to make a guide for quicksand in the future and put a link below in the description. For your auto attack, put in blessing for more damage and reduced cast time, suffragium for reduced cast time, dark shadow slaughter for dealing damage, magnificent for SP regen, and play dead for SP regen. Next is gear. There are 3 things to get with priority. Everything else is gear that you get from the start of the game as you progress through your growth index. Key of the Stars is something you get from Advanced Kefka, but if you don't have access to this, just increase your Dark Shadow Slaughter level. First are Staunch Cape and Staunch Shoes. You will reduce the variable cast time by 10% as a set. Staunch Cape is 416,000 Zeni, and Staunch Shoes is 112,000 Zeni. Without this, your cast time will not be 0, so this will make a big difference in farming efficiency. Next is the Ancient One's Staff, for 10 int and 8% magic attack. This costs 322,000 Zeni. If you don't have access to this, just make up the damage by maxing out Dark Shadow Slaughter. Let's look at the farming setup. While you save up for the gear and the quicksand, farm in Wind Breath in this spot on the map. You can kill multiple wilderness creamies. Since this is a special map, you'll have 0 cast time even without the gear you need to buy. Once you get Dark Shadow Slaughter near max, you can start going to Glasshelm Culverts to see if you can one-shot Annoyance and Stings. This is my favorite spot. You can consistently hit more than 3 at once. Make sure you have the Stay Alert adventure skill so you don't run away from this spot. I also eat an Int B meal, which you can get from your daily EXP quest. This gives me the extra damage I need to one-shot things. If you're still lacking in damage, you can eat the original will juice that you can claim from the food voucher. This will give you magic penetration and magic attack. Here's my starting Zeni, and I have none of the material drops in my inventory. Let's see what happens after 180 combat time. As you can see, we earned a lot of raw Zeni. You'll also earn Zeni from selling the drops. You can keep running this character until 240 combat time and beyond for more Zeni. After 240 combat time, we have more than 1.2 million raw Zeni. We also earn some Great Nature and Mystic Frozen, but those don't sell very well, but I put them in the chart for completeness. The Royal Jelly, Necklace of Oblivion, and Armor Shards are sellable, and you can earn about an extra 110,000 Zeni from this. I believe this is the best farming strategy early on as a newly created saint in Ragnarok Mobile 2.0. Have fun earning that Zeni. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe.